I'd like your thoughts very quickly on the judiciary stands and poise on those, and I mean states now, who violate judicial pronouncements in respect of local government autonomy. Last I checked, and I'm not sure if anything has changed since then, at least 8 states may not meet the Supreme Court's October deadline for elected officials at the local government level, as they have either scheduled their polls for after October or have yet to set a date for the electoral contest. 8 states. What do you envisage, and what should be the clear position of the federal government on these states? Very quickly.
I think that provision, or that idea that the Supreme Court set a date, a deadline for states to meet up with elections, I think I'm not very clear, but I read the judgment that there was no.
What it means is that if at the end of October, no elected officials, no federal allocation from the federation.
So it was the federal government that came up with that concept that we give you 90 days. Because 90 days is the minimum you can give to run an election in our electoral statutes, both at the state level and the federal level. So I think it was the federal government that came up with that concept that we give you minimum 90 days. Make sure you do elections. Otherwise, we will not give you the allocation meant for a local government. But I think that will also be a problem, because does the federal government have that power to withhold those based on that electoral provision? I'm sure those states will want to test it out in court again. But to your question around states that do not want to keep up with the Supreme Court ruling, I think it's up to the Supreme Court to put its foot down. Because once you give a judgment, there is need to enforce that judgment. And I think the federal government has the power, with the power of the Supreme Court, to enforce that judgment. I think that 90 days is that enforcement mechanism that the federal government wants to do.